Today we're reading story number 32 from the Gospel Story Bible by Marty Machowski. Today's story is God Parts the Red Sea. It's on page 64 and it's taken from Exodus chapter 14. Exodus is found in the Old Testament and it's the second book in the Bible. Here's a picture. God parts the Red Sea. All over the land, the people of God hurried out of their homes as God led them out of Egypt. They headed into the wilderness toward the Red Sea. As the people gathered, a large pillar of cloud formed. The Lord was in the cloud and moved ahead of the people to show them where to go. At night, the Lord led them with a pillar of fire that burned brightly, giving light for them to see. That way, God's people could travel by day or by night. Over 1 million Israelites left Egypt, along with their sheep and cattle. It was a very big group. When they reached the Red Sea, God told them to set up camp there. He spoke to Moses and said, "I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will pursue you, thinking you are trapped by the sea. But I will get the glory over Pharaoh, and all of Egypt will know that I am the Lord." It happened just the way God said it would. When Pharaoh was told that the Israelites had gone, he changed his mind again. He called his army together and took 600 chariots to chase after the Israelites. When the Israelites saw the Egyptians coming, they were afraid. But Moses told them, "Fear not, stand firm and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will work for you today." From Exodus 14:13. Then God moved the pillar of cloud from the front of the crowd to the back. Now it stood between Israel and the Egyptians. Moses stretched his hand out over the sea. A great east wind blew all night, blowing the water out of its normal place. The floor of the sea became dry land. The people walked through the sea on dry ground with a wall of water on the left and a wall of water on the right. When the Egyptian army saw what was happening, they tried to chase after the Israelites, but the Lord clogged up the wheels of their chariots and they could not move quickly through the pathway in the sea. The Egyptians became frightened because they knew God was fighting against them. When God's people were safely on the other side, the Lord told Moses to stretch his hand out over the sea again. When he did, the sea rushed back into its place, and all the Egyptians were drowned. So the Lord saved Israel that day, just as he had promised. When God's people saw his great power at work and the dead Egyptians on the shore, they were filled with awe for the Lord. They celebrated in worship and song, safe on the other side. Before God parted the Red Sea, the Israelites were trapped. They could not save themselves from the Egyptians. But God opened a way through the sea, and the Israelites walked through by faith. We are trapped too. We are dead in our sin with no way to save ourselves. God opened a way of escape for us through Jesus. The Bible tells us that if we trust in him and his sacrifice on the cross for our sin, we will be saved forever. Here is the picture. Why does God divide the Red Sea? What holds the Egyptians back until the Israelites complete the crossing? How would you feel walking through a sea between two high walls of water? Tune in to our next video to learn more about God's big story. If you're following along at home in your long story short devotional, we're on week 32, and on Monday, you can start on day 1.